preparing to put on these capsules. After the hole is cut, you've got to come in here with a sandpaper, maybe a 220 grit, and scuff up. You can see we have a little pen line to show us where the capsule ends. So we scuff up everywhere that capsule is going to hit our chassis. And right now, Ron and John are putting a very specific bead on the inside of the capsule. There's a special nozzle that comes with the kit that gives you a tall triangular bead. You can see how that's tapered, and it actually has an edge guide, so Ron can just keep going straight right down the line. Now, what is this glue? What type of glue is this?
Urethane.
It's a urethane adhesive. This is what they use to put windshields in. No gaps. Tube change. We're using a Milwaukee powered caulk gun. What would we do without this caulk gun? That was a Christmas present. Very important that there are no gaps in that bead anywhere around the capsule. Ron makes that turn. He's heading down to the last turn. Ron and John have trained hard for this moment. And there's John turning the capsule.
Big responsibility.
Good job, Ron.
Steady Eddie.
This capsule insulation is best done with two men. They are a very, very good fit to the side of this Sprinter van. When we dry fit them, it was incredible. You can hear that urethane. Incredible. So now John is going to go around the perimeter of this capsule and make sure his seams and gaps are equal. And Ron is on the inside. He's now going to drill through the flange and put two bolts, through bolt, at the top. That's the only place you have access to bolt the flange, as per the directions from the company. Two bolts at the top, nowhere else. You can see we have this one in already, and we got a nice even squeeze out all the way around the seal. That urethane is very, very dense, very thick. The placement of the bead is very important. You cannot get any squeeze out coming out this way. You'll never get it off the chassis. It's a god-awful mess, that stuff. Ron's through bolting. He's got a couple of C-clamps up there just to hold it in place.
Yep.
Yeah, that's still got to get pulled in. You can see how that urethane is so dense that it is literally holding the capsule away from the chassis. You've got to exert a tremendous force to bring that capsule in, but you don't want to squeeze out so much of that urethane. You don't want to starve that joint. It's got to be full of urethane. So there's a sweet spot where you've got to decide on how big you want that gap and how even can it be. A lot of people use magnets in their van builds. I've been doing it for a long time. I started out with Velcro. If you remember, I Velcroed everything, but then I graduated to magnets. We use them everywhere. I'll show you some really cool examples. Here, this is the back panel for the MiniMe, wrapped in a fabric of the customer's choice. So basically, you can see this magnet right here. It's a bar magnet, 2-inch bar magnet, square stock. We have these made with the specific polarity, the way we want it. We put those around with construction adhesive. And then once you set this baby in where it belongs, it is, boom, it's in. How nice is that? Now, if you decide you got tired of this fabric, we can just take it out and replace the fabric. Options. Options, baby. Ron made this little ditty on his 3D printer. Look at this now. This is made out of ABS, and he's got a nice little fillet down at the bottom for strength. He put his disc down with holes in it, so when you put your adhesive on it, the adhesive comes squishing through the holes and it gives you a mechanical hold. Then this tube, all the way down the line, is open for a number 8 screw. So we can cut these to any height we want, and we're going to loosely fit the magnet in the top so it conforms to the curve of the ceilings or the walls. This is mostly for ceilings. We'll lay in our Thinsulate on here and just click it right up into place. These are very strong magnets. Isn't that something? He developed it in one day and he printed a dozen of them overnight, so we have them. There you go, 10 pounds. 10 pounds of pressure. See if you can get 20.
We'll see if it doesn't work.
I think the Masonite's gonna give.
Yep.
Yeah, the Masonite gave. But you never get 20 pounds of pressure in the ceiling.
Never.
So here is John. And let me zoom out a little. Okay, John put some construction adhesive in there, and then he puts a little hot glue around the sides. Why is he doing that? Because now we can set this thing in place, and the hot glue is going to hold it for the 24 hours that it takes the construction adhesive to cure. We can keep moving. We don't have to wait for that to cure. And you see how all that construction adhesive squeezed through there? That's a nice, tight mechanical bond. Now, John is insulating a ceiling panel for the MiniMe. What we do with the MiniMe panels, we wrap them in foam-backed marine vinyl. We make holes for our puck lights. Now, John's going to glue that one layer of Reflectix that he cut to fit. So that goes down first. That's right on the back of the ceiling panel. Look how nice that is. Okay, now that stays there in place. And then when we put the panel in, we put a layer of Thinsulate. Actually, John, you're gonna glue it right to that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, black side right to it. And as you know, the Thinsulate acts as an air gap, which is what the Reflectix needs to work. It needs an air gap to reflect the heat back through. So that's what we get in the MiniMe, one layer of Thinsulate and a layer of Reflectix on each roof panel. It's coming in. They got to get their light wires through the hole and set it up right there. Get it lined up. Click, click. To start to install this water tank, Ron took a piece of 3/4 plywood and he put a dado on the one side. The reason for that is we're going to line this up in the channel. See how he's got that dado set in the 80/20 channel. That's going to keep this tank from sliding outboard. And then we just put that masonite in place to span from 80/20 to 80/20 beam here, just to give that tank a little something. There's no way it's going to scallop between these 80/20s, but I want to give it that little bit of support. So now this is in the channel. This is going to act as a stop for the tank. Nice. It's really tight, really tight. Then we've got these crossbars, 1.5 inch 80/20 crossbars spreading, but I just want to put a little something underneath the tank so it's supported fully. You know, the masonite's not going to do a lot. So this is our tank. Are you all, oh, you know what? I left room for the brackets on the ends.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want that to be square and flush. Okay, the next step, in the other video, I showed you my angle irons. These guys go here. C channel on the angle, C channel on the angle. And then our crossbar is another C channel. So we've got space under here for our tank sensors and our hatches. And then when we pad this up 1/2 inch, we can run their mattress right into the capsule on either side. Or we could stop the mattress here and give them little cubbies, head and foot. That'll be their choice when they come to take a look. Full clear span with these 3-inch aluminum C channels, which are lightweight, very lightweight. We have a full span without any bounce. This is all wide open underneath. Done.
And how?
And how? It's always the Little Rascals or the Three Stooges. One or the other. Or Abbott and Costello. I do a lot of Costello too. Yeah. This is MiniMe number 5. And her name is Mini Pearl. Remember Mini Pearl? Some of us do. Here, we've got it fitted with the MoonShade. That is a Humble Road exclusive, a telescoping arm that comes off the roof rack in order to get the extra width or length we need to mount the awning. I'll show you how that works. So here's what we got. We got this little lever. It's a lock. You loosen the lever and you slide this out. It's been tuned for the MoonShade. So now we've extended our D-ring out where it needs to be. And then there's a stop when you bring it back in. Just tighten the lever and drive off. So this is a really nice little system, very simple, all 80/20, Humble Road exclusive, using linear bearings. There you go.